Hello, friends out there in YouTube land. I'm Robert Hamm with RobertHammPhotography.com. You can catch me over on Twitter at RobHammPhoto. You can find me on both Facebook and YouTube at /RobertHammPhotography. And I just started my Instagram, so go find me over there, Robert Hamm Photography. Today, you're going to look at the first roll of film that I've shot through my brand new Olympus 35RD. Now, this is the Rangefinder Deluxe. That's the RD designation. The Olympus 35RC rangefinder compact that I've got is out at the shop right now, and I have an Olympus 35DC Deluxe compact coming in. And I got to tell you a little secret, I got a couple more cameras coming in too, so stick around, keep watching the channel. You're going to check out the Ricoh 500G as well as the Olympus OMG. Those are just a couple of them on the way, and I also have I've got a couple more of the Olympus RC. I think that's my favorite out of these models just because it's so small and diminutive. But I got a couple of those coming in so that I can get them fixed up real nice. And I think we're going to have some raffles and giveaways on the channel. I don't know, stay tuned for that. Getting right into it, this first roll of film through the RC really pleased me very well. I purchased the the RD, and I purchased one that had a CLA done to it recently, and that turned out to be true. So good on the shop that I purchased it from. The light leaks and things like that, as far as focus and stuff, all of it looks really good. I'm shooting Fuji Supra 200 for all of my test rolls, and so I want to give you a little information on that. It's a daylight balanced film, so you'll notice that I'm taking pictures inside at nighttime as well as outside at daytime, and I try to shoot in every condition that is possible: overcast, brightly sunny, all that other stuff. What you're going to find when you're shooting Fuji Supra 200 is that the film is a good all-around film, definitely daylight balanced, which means outside, bright sunny days, sunny 16 rule, everything is going to work out nicely, color-wise as well as exposure-wise. It's a fairly contrasty film with nice saturated colors, yet not oversaturated. If you compare pictures that you take from the camera to a cell phone image, you'll find that the cell phone does a lot of correction and shadows and saturations, but images taken from the Fuji 200 Supra in daylight, good daylight, I think they look a little bit more pleasing, more natural to the eye. It's also a grainy film, okay? And that means that the film stock itself is kind of pixelated or dense once you start kind of pushing that a little bit for larger prints. And that means that getting your film scanned properly with large scan files is going to be paramount in being able to print a large image. But this is just technical stuff. When you see these images that are getting ready to come up, you'll notice that some of them have a greenish cast to it, which kind of turns into a yellow cast. Those are inside, generally under fluorescent or incandescent lighting. You'll be able to tell the difference between the two. And that, in those instances, this film is not the film that you want to use because it just completely throws off the color balance. Also, when I shoot indoors on this camera, I was using an aperture of 1.7, which is the widest the lens can go natively, as well as a shutter speed of 1/60th. So some of the grainy pixelation that you see is starvation from light. Although that 1.7 aperture lets in a lot of light, shooting at 1/30th or even 1/15th of a second indoors will definitely help that quite a bit. So when you're outside shooting the sunny 16 rule, I would actually open up a stop just a little bit brighter than what you would normally do, especially if you're shooting the Olympus 35RD. And the film has the ability to absorb that additional exposure value, or two exposure values, I think, in light absorption. So you're going to have a nicer image. So if you're outdoors and you're shooting a 200 speed film on, at least for my particular copy of the camera, which is working well, I find that shooting f/16 instead of 200 speed film, starting at 1/250th, I'll drop it down to 1/25. Normally, the sunny 16 rule would have you be at a reciprocal of your film speed. But that's for me. So normally what I found is I was shooting at 5.6 at around 1/125th or 1/250th. That's what I found that I was shooting at to get quite a few of the images that I really, really enjoyed. I'm not going to make you wait any longer. I'm Robert Hamm with Robert Hamm Photography. You've got my info. Follow me over on Instagram. That's brand new. You can also follow me on Facebook, YouTube, and please don't forget Twitter. We're trying to build this channel up. I really need your help with that. Like, subscribe, and share. I'd appreciate that, my friends. And as always, keep shooting, my friends.